I can finally show and freaking tell. I can do that because the official FIFA just dropped early access, so I can finally talk about my experience with the beta. So let's get into it. What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to my channel. But if you're new here though, my name is Nolo MN is the name of the channel. I do gaming content, FIFA content, football content. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, consider subscribing to the channel. Before we get started though, I just want to say this is all based on my experience with the FIFA 22 beta version. Therefore, what I talk about and what I show you could not be in the finished product of FIFA, or it may be. It's just solely up to them how much they care. Just putting out there. So for today's video, I'm going to break it down into 3 sections. I'm going to talk about the managers in career mode. I'm going to talk about the new and hyped up career club that we saw in the trailers. And I'm also going to talk about the general feel of the game. So basically, I'm going to tell you what's nice and what's not nice. But mostly, I'm going to talk about improvements because that game felt like it should be for free. Okay, not necessarily for free, but it felt like it should be cheaper than what we pay for the game. But am I going to buy it regardless? Yes. Yes, I am. So, let's talk about the managers. I remember my soul, something in me died. Something in me left the moment I opened the game and I went to career mode and I chose to play with the manager mode. And guess what? You see the same lineup of managers and I was like, FIFA 20, is this you? Oh no, wait, FIFA 21, maybe it's you. So that kind of drained my soul. Like, for me, it would have been nice if they switched up the managers. I know you can edit the managers to your own liking, but some people don't have time for that. It would have been nice to just have new managers waiting for you. Like, pick me, pick me. So, wait, oh my word. Did they fix the avatars? Holy shit. He did. This lady was not rocking this maroon suit. This dude is new. He was not rocking. Oh my word. Hey, listen. This man is new. This lady has always been here, but she wore different attire. And he's new too. Oh shit. Wow. I feel like I matter. I feel like I matter. One thing that I truly did like and that made me happy and excited was that you get new hairs for your managers. But then I feel like if it wasn't for like Volta or proclubs or the player career mode, we would have not gotten any new hairs for the managers. But we did, and I appreciate that. You get a whole lot of new hairs to choose from, and some look clean, some look nice, some look stylish. So that's really amazing. So as you can see, you get this, you get that. This is also a cool new hair. This is definitely a hairstyle that I will be playing with more. So you just get a lot of hairstyles that you can choose from. So it's up to you what you like and what you're gonna go for. So they really blessed us in that department. But like I said, you're gonna see all this throughout Volta, Pro Clubs, and your player career mode if you choose to play that route. And then I got to choosing clothes for my managers, and then again my excitement kind of like dipped. So why can't you just like update the clothes? If you don't want to update them, my suggestion would have been to get some sort of color wheel or some sort of option to get, you know, a variety of colors for maybe the blue blazer that you can get. Maybe I want it to be, I don't know, zebra stripe. Let me do that just to add a bit of funk, you know, and to just kind of define my manager. So new clothes for managers for me is definitely a must. And another thing that still was an issue is the manager rating. When you go in game and you get your manager rating and you start at 80, that still drops quicker than lightning can strike. I don't know what saying to go for, but yes, you get what I'm saying. It still drops like crazy. So that should be fixed and that should be worked on. Like, it takes so long most of the time for you to build up your manager rating, and then it takes like so quick to just drop. What is this? Is this like trust levels? It takes years to build and seconds to tear down. Like, please, can we work on that? Because it's really annoying. Just because someone is not happy about something and I don't want to fix it doesn't mean I should go from like an 80 to like a freaking 60. That's insulting to me and all my work that I've been doing. Get that? And another nice thing we could have is to actually play with real life managers. Allow me to play with existing managers. If I go into career mode and I choose, for example, to play with Manchester United, give me an option to either one, create my own manager, or two, to play with Mr. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, what can I do to him? I'm not gonna like sabotage him. Or maybe I could, maybe I don't know, but you know, that option should be there. Like, why, like, what happens to the manager if I play with like Real Madrid? What happens to Mr. Carlo Ancelotti? Liverpool, where does Jurgen Klopp go? Like, allow me to play with that. At least make it an option, you know. It's better to have more than to have less. We've been supporting EA for a very long time. Sometimes we deserve to have just a bit more, you know. And another suggestion I had for managers in career mode was to have custom animations. You know how in Volta or in like in your player career mode, you choose how your player runs and the way they take a penalty. Can't we implement that system with the managers? For example, at the end of the match, if your team loses, your manager could react in a certain way. So you could choose this whilst you're editing your manager. If the team wins, they will react in a certain way. And also just during the match, you know, there'll be certain animations that is like known for that manager. And for example, Marcelo Bielsa, the Leeds United manager, Matt, he kind of kneels down in matches. Jose Mourinho, he has times of, I don't know, taking his little notepad and writing stuff down. Such animations for the managers to make it feel more, like I said, authentic, more real. You know, that's just something that could have been made, or something that could have been done in a way. Even if we just get one animation, I'll settle for one animation, just so my manager can feel more, you know, different, more real, more me, you know. And another thing would have been a voice for the managers, even if they don't speak a lot. I'm not asking anyone to sing a whole song, to, I don't know, read for me a whole book from page 1 to page 65. But like, since they still say the same stuff with post-match conferences and pre-match conferences, a voice would have been nice to have. Give me a list of voices to choose from, and if I like what I hear, I go with that. And when I pick a certain response, they can just say that. It's not that difficult, since the options of responses have not changed one bit. So let my manager have a voice, please. And also, it would have been nice somewhere during the season or somewhere during your career, just getting offers from other clubs, or just hearing, I don't know, Pep Guardiola got sacked. Would you like to, you know, take over at, I don't know, Man City, for example? And you could either say yes or you could either say no. Why do I have to go there and see which jobs, you know, are available? Yes, that's fine. We can have that as well. But also elements of like getting job offers, that would have been a nice addition to the freaking game. Moving on to the hyped up, you know, the trailer. We saw the trailer. I don't know about you, but I saw that trailer and I was like, damn, this is it. And I'm talking about Create a Club, the new feature. Well, not new, since it was already there, and they took it out, that was back again, so it's new. So yes, the trailer, oh my word, the trailer was like 100 out of 100. And then the gameplay, or the actual thing, was like a solid 15 out of 1,000. It was really disappointing. It was really disappointing. But I do want to say that I love the concept that they had in mind. I love, you know, the Create a Club concept. That's brilliant, and I appreciate it being back in the game. And I also like the fact that when you're creating your jersey, your badge, or your stands and whatever, you get plenty of templates to choose from, which you can customize to your own liking, or you can just choose, you know, to just go with what's there, and you can just go in the game, and that's that. Cool. So that's the only thing I love in terms of create a club mode. Now, for the issues or the things they missed out on or ways they could just improve it. So the issues that I saw was that one, you can't have a third kid. So that was a bit sus. That was suspicious. Like, what? You can only do your home jersey, you could only do your away jersey, and the third jersey is just MIA, nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be found. It was just not included. Secondly, you could not customize any of your goalkeeper kits. Nothing, like nada. If you choose that your home color or your home jersey is to be pink and your away jersey is to be yellow and green, yeah, that's it. And then when you go in game, you just realize that your goalkeeper has whatever the game chooses to give them based on, similar colors that your team has. So I was like, excuse me, don't you choose for me what I like for my goalkeeper. Let me choose what I want for my goalkeeper. So that was a bit annoying, and I hope the third kit and the being able to customize your goalkeeper's kit is in the actual game. And then another thing that I couldn't do, or we couldn't do in the beta version, is that you could not edit your players' shorts. You couldn't edit your players' socks. You could only do the jersey, and that's that. That's it. The game just chooses for you whatever feels like matches with what you have. So I don't like that. Whatever I want to have, a yellow shirt, a yellow jersey, and purple shorts, like me. Don't choose for me, please. And then a big miss that made your hard work, if you're gonna be putting in some time to create your custom jerseys for your club, is that there was no sponsors to add to like the front of your shirt. You see Fly Emirates, nah, this would be non-existent. You would basically just get your club logo or your club badge that you put on your shirt. And with some shirts, my word, which side is this? Yes, you would basically get the club logo or the club badge that you put on the shirt, and you would get, I saw with some shirts you have like the Nike tick, you have the Adidas blocks, and you also had the Jordan man. I don't know how to do the Air Jordan, and I believe there was some Puma stuff, but I'm not sure. But this sponsors, not even here, not even on the front of the shirt, nothing. It just looks like a plain t-shirt. You just look like a broke club that just came from the ghetto. And that was You see other clubs, Man United, they got the Chevy. You get like Real Madrid, Arsenal, they get the Fly Emirates. You get Leicester with like Thailand, even Everton, Kazoo, your team, nothing. Plain shirt. So like, even if it's just generic sponsors, just put them there so that the shirt does not feel so empty. You could choose to put sponsors in front of the shirt. You could choose to put sponsors on like sleeves. So that gotta be there, because wow, sponsors are a huge part of football. Therefore, I feel like they should be there, whether real sponsors or like fake sponsors, So yeah. If they can come up with like Piemonte Calcio, they can for sure come up with like fake sponsor names and fake logos and whatever, And also, like I mentioned before, that I really do love the fact that you get plenty of templates to choose from, but then it also kind of limits creativity because you already get set things to use, especially with the colors. So a color wheel would have also been a nice addition, so that you get like maybe the perfect pink or the perfect tint of blue. So that would have been nice, and that would have eliminated being restricted to what's already there. Like, don't you assume that I like the pink that you put in the game. What if I wanna, I don't know, let's go with purple. Yes, don't assume I like that purple. What if I want violet? What if I want lavender? Still continuing on create a club, specifically the creation part of the club. So you can. So you can choose a rival for your club, but a huge but. If you play in the championship, your rival can only be a team in the championship. If you choose to play in La Liga, your rival has to be in that, in La Liga. So basically your rival has to be in the same division as you. And it might make sense, it might make sense, but like, what if I'm Arsenal? Yeah, let's just go with Arsenal for this one. And I have like a rival, for example, Chelsea, the whole North London derby, and then I get relegated to like the championship. So what happens to like Chelsea? Are we no more rivals? Like, if it would have been nice to have more than one rival, because then you can get, for example, with like Barcelona and no, for example, with Real Madrid, you get Real Madrid and Barcelona. You have the whole El Clasico, they're a bit of rivals, but you also have Real Madrid and Atletico de Madrid with the whole Madrid derby. They are kind of like rivals, so it would have been nice to have or choose more than one rival, and maybe even like specify whether it's a derby or whether it falls into like being an El Clasico, or they just like beefing because they're from the same city. Speaking about cities, you can't even choose where your team is from, which is a bit sus. Like, why can't I specify that? Because, okay, I'm going to be putting this team in the Premier League. Therefore, I choose for my created club to be from North London. Therefore, I'll be beefing with Tottenham, Chelsea, and Arsenal. When I play Chelsea, I'd like the commentators to be like, it's a North London derby. Or, that would have been a nice addition. I'm just saying. And also, it would have been nice to have some club history. When you go into career mode and you're going through all the clubs to pick whatever club that you want, you have, I believe, on the right, the club's history. Yes, can't I just type my little club history, even if it's just 100 characters? Please, can I type anything? Or give me a generic piece of information for me to use if, you're one of those people that, don't like all those stuff, just, you could either type your history or you could either, pick some generic piece of information and it will display somewhere in the game. So that will also make it feel like your club is new and your club did not just, it was not born last night and now it's, it's a football club. And then the other thing, I spoke about being able to create your club badge, but another thing that would have been nice to have with the badges, because you get a template and then you can like customize that template and you get different shapes that you can choose from. But in terms of the club badge, it would have been nice to be able to add your team's name to the badge. Now, Real Madrid is a very bad example because there's not really the club name in the badge. You just kind of get like the FC, but Manchester United is, because you have the circle and then you have like Manchester United. So now I'm just saying, having the option to put your club name in the club badge would have been top tier. I touched upon sponsors, being able to put sponsors on your shirt. It also would have been nice during like the game to get offers from sponsors that fund your club and they give you some sort of income. Because, for example, if I'm creating this club and I choose to make them a 1-star team, obviously we are broke, we don't have anything. So being able to have some sort of sponsor that gives us money, that would have been nice, because you're also kind of building on your club, rags to riches. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now Old Trafford. Things like that would have been nice. Speaking about money, the transfer budget. Yes, I know you can still choose because the whole financial takeover still exists in terms of create a club, but it would have been more nicer to specify just exactly how much you want to give your club. I saw now that there's an option to put in like 5 million to start with, and I believe you could start with like 50. I'm not quite sure on that, but I see now there's a 5 mil option. But what I mean, it would have been nice to just specify, we are so broke, we are like nobodies. I want my club to start with 55,321. That would have been nice to kind of have a customization, not a customization, but to specify exactly how much you want for your club. And I know you still have to, consider paying salaries and all of that, but that's where the sponsors come in. Speaking about clubs and sponsors and income, I want to touch on stadiums. Yes, you get a stadium template and you can choose a stadium with 10,000 capacity, or you can choose the big stadium with like, I don't know, 90,000 capacity. But it would have been nice. I believe you can change your stadium I believe you can change it. I haven't tried that yet. But it would have been nice to start maybe with a stadium that's 2,000 capacity. We are maybe in like the freaking 5th division. And as we get more money from sponsors, and we would have been able to upgrade our stadium, therefore upgrading capacity, therefore upgrading the look, therefore it looks nice, and then it becomes one of the big stadiums, and then it's just a big nice stadium that started from nothing and now it's something. That would have been a nice addition, you know, kind of work your way, you know, like build on your club. That would have been nice. Because like just going there and changing your stadium, that's not the same. Because you know it's not the same. I think I don't need to elaborate on that. It's just not the same, you know, than you building your club to something big. Now with Create a Club, also it could have been added, you know, to have some sort of like income from ticket sales, jersey sales from like your fans. They are coming and pitching up and rocking up to the match, but I'm not getting any sort of money or any sort of benefit from that. So ticket sales would have been a nice addition to have, getting more income for the club. And you know, you can do whatever you feel like with the money. You can buy new players, you can invest it in the stadium, you can pay wages, you know, just realism. Where is the realism? Not just in gameplay, but little things such as this, you know? And since it is Create a Club, you know, when you create your club and you're done and all set with everything and you're fine and happy, you put your club in whatever league that you choose to, but you don't actually, I don't know, you don't add to that league. For example, Premier League has 20 teams. You can't be the 21st team. Therefore, you need to boot some team out. So maybe you're in the Prem and you choose to boot Norwich out, and now you are like the 20th team there. That's fine. I understand that. But you know what would have been nice to also have is an option to create a league, like a new league. You can either get a freaking template of a league and you can throw your team in there and then you can compete with the other leagues, or it's just your league, right? You create that and it's just a bunch of generic clubs and you compete, and maybe you can choose, for example, it does not necessarily have to be like a new league on its own. Maybe it's like a division. Maybe if the Prem, for example, has like the 3 divisions, you could choose to be the 4th division. Then you are like building your way up to get to like the main stuff, you know. That would have been nice to have. Therefore it's you and generic teams, or you could also choose to put other teams in that new league that you have. So that would have been nice, other than just going to the Prem and being like 20th team. Like what happens to the team I booted out, you know. Okay, I'm done talking about Create a Club. Now I want to move on to, I'm still talking about Create a Club, but the generic players that we get in Create a Club. So I don't have anything good to say about generic club, nor do I have anything hateful to say about it. It's just improvements that I wish to see when it comes to the generic players that we get. When you create your club, you get a bunch of generic players that are in your club. You could either choose to get young players, veteran players, seasoned players, and the game just gives you a bunch of randos with like whatever ratings that they give you. In terms of the generic players, it would have been nice to be able to edit those players. This means names, where they're from, how they look. That would have been a nice customization option to have. And with the name specifically, I say this because in my first save, not once were any of the generic players' name read out loud. Like they never even said it. My mans can score a whole hat trick and the commentator will be dead quiet. Silence. Just be like, go, it's a hat trick. Yeah, but who scored the hat trick? Say his name. So if you're not gonna read them, then let me name my players, you know. But then also in a second save that I had, I noticed that some of the players' names were being read. In my first save, none of the players' names were read, not even once. But in my other save, when I was passing the ball, playing some little tiki-taka, names were being read. So, hi, hello, yes. So it would have been nice to either maybe type your own players' names, but I feel like that kind of maybe messes up with the system. But if that's not possible, then give me a list of names to choose from, because the world has so many names, and then I can choose from names based on maybe part of like the world. So for example, names will be categorized. So if you created or customized or edited an Asian player, then you have a list of Asian names to choose from. If you have an African player, you'd have names to choose from. English players, you have names to choose from. Something like that would have been nice. And then you kind of have control of, who's in your club, or some sort of control of, the players that are generated for you. And another problem or an issue with the generated players is that they do not make sense at all. For example, you would have like, I don't know, Handanovic, and then you come and get Handanovic is from Ghana. Or you would have, let's just go with Roy Keane, and he would be from like Slovakia. So basically the names of the players and the nationality of the players really did not match up or did not make sense. I know it is possible to maybe have a Roy Keane from, I don't know, Cameroon, but the chances are very, very slim. So if we can't edit all of that and we can't do any sort of editing to the players, then at least the names have to be matching, nationality, or they have to be corresponding in some way. Well, and another option or an improvement I would really like to see is that it's kind of a mesh between generate players and the whole creator club system, is to be able to get an empty club, and during maybe the off season you recruit players, or you get offers, or you get a list of players, so then you have control of who is in your club, rather than the game just like throwing you with a bunch of generated random players. So having the option to choose who you want in your club would have been super sweet. Or your youth academy, if that's a thing, then you can just choose players also from like your youth academy. So that would have been nice.